Brought to you in association with Grendel Press. This is Werewolf the Podcast, a serial killer drama.
Hello, this is Will the Werewolf, and this is me continuing part 3 of Jimmy the Wererat. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, you can get it in the link below. If you'd like to buy my book, you can get it in the link below. If you're watching this on YouTube, well, you're not watching it, you're listening to it, but if you're on YouTube, then like and subscribe and do all those kind of things and share and do all that, and that would be great, and you're wonderful, and thank you. Anyway, I'm going to continue with the story. Part 3, Jimmy the Wererat. The journey back to the Spa Lodge was a little strange in the fact that we were very quiet. Our minds were ablaze. I'd been in some peculiar situations before, but this was, well, really new to me. I mean, it's not often two were-rats solicit you. As I drove, we listened to a bit of Florence and the Machine, which seemed appropriate for the moment. I could hear Fenn's mind working, and I knew that he was in a similar place to me. I briefly looked down to take the card from my pocket. It was white, and on a very expensive handmade card. I read the card. It only had 5 words on it, no phone number, no nothing. It read, Eddie Simpkins. Look right. Now. I looked right to suddenly see a set of headlights and the front of a large red car about a foot away from my window. And then the world went fucking mental. My vehicle was struck on the door and everything went into slow motion, as all end-of-life experiences seem to. My life had flashed before my eyes. I'd lived it what seemed quickly compared to the next few seconds that seemed to drag out into eternity. The door wrapped around the front of the crashing car. I noticed how it warped and bubbled in the centre and slowly expanded its way out to the jamb and the dashboard. As the door buckled, it took much longer than I thought for the window to shatter, and somehow it blew mostly outwards. The door lining eventually sprang off and struck me in the face before the inertia of the impact hit my body and threw me towards the passenger side of the car. Fenn, the bastard, was not affected by the impact. He just looked as surprised as a wolf's soul could look at what was happening. As the now shitty old seatbelt locked solid in the now shitty old 1974 Porsche, it hit my clavicle and broke it. That was some fucking impact to be able to do that. Before my eyes, the windscreen peeled back and flew in what now looked like a shattered flag across the front of the car. The pain finally shot through my body from the crunching clavicle. The driver's door continued buckling as the crashing car penetrated the vehicle's interior. The Porsche started to fold around the four-wheeled missile. My leg was now being compressed and the driver's seat was forced sideways into the passenger part of the compartment. My eyes finally met Fenn's and he started his way into my body. I needed to be the werewolf now. The momentum of my car had gone from forwards to sideways and forwards, and we started to tumble as the driver's side was lifted and started to roll the car. This may have helped in the level of impact the car gave as the attacking vehicle flew upwards, taking its crashing force into the sky. It usually takes a couple of seconds to transform, but this couple of seconds had fuckloads going on in it. I remember it all. As we tumbled, it felt like I was in a fucking washing machine, my body thrown around like a soft toy on a spin cycle, glass, metal, and in one moment I noticed a packet of chewing gum floating around the compartment as we moved. Eventually, Fen and I were one, and we ripped our way from the chair and the seatbelt with claws and the power given by fucking anger. Finally, the car rolled twice and landed wheel-size down after going through a fence and into a field of cows. Those cows had been helpful in the fact the car had used them to absorb some of its momentum. Screams, not moos, were around me as the car decimated the herd. Bits of moo cow were spread evenly around the crash site. My car came to a very violent stop as it impacted trees at the edge of the field. As the car settled, I was already out through the windscreen in my werewolf form and over the bonnet. I was on my way to the other vehicle. The other vehicle was still ploughing through the field and through the herd. I just hoped whoever was in it was still alive so I could fucking kill him. It was a red Audi A5, about 4 feet shorter than before the crash. As I got closer, I could see that the engine was in the back seat of the car, and the driver and the passenger were, sadly, in bits. They'd been crushed and shredded by the G-forces and the crash's impact. As I arrived at the car, I noticed the driver was wearing a crappy rubber mask. Shit. Of course, it was a fucking rat mask. Of course. And that's the end of that very short episode. Sorry. Please buy me a coffee. Please share stuff. I love you lots. Thanks to all those that care. You're great. Bye.
Brought to you in association with Grendel Press. This is Werewolf the Podcast, a serial killer drama.